Hey guys, this is Pritul from PageSpeed Marketing and Search Engine Mate. Today I'm going to be talking about site speed, specifically how site speed can affect your Google search rankings and why it's important for businesses of every size, every type. So it doesn't matter if you are a corporate or a large conglomerate, or it doesn't matter if you are a corner grocery store. If you have a website and if you are on the first page of Google, or if you want to be on the first page of Google search rankings, you have to consider site speed as a very, very important factor for your SEO. Um, Now, why am I talking about site speed today specifically? Is because I got an email from one of the marketers, and basically it was pitching that they had developed a software that can analyze any website, that can uh, analyze the site speed of basically any website, and it can actually simulate the novel part of what they were pitching was, it can actually simulate uh, how much the site speed would actually improve if you do certain changes on your website. Now, ideally, if someone does not know about anything about site speed, they would go first thing and buy out that software. But what I want to show you is how you can actually make use of Google's own tools and get all of that information practically for free. And uh, Before I talk about all of that, let me just first talk about why site speed is an important factor. So basically, if you know me, you can, if you don't know me, you can actually go and check out my LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is at linkedin.com/in/Pritul, Pritul dash Patel, Patel. That's my LinkedIn profile. I work for eBay currently, and I worked at Yahoo before, and I know for the fact that one of the biggest project undertakings at all of these companies in the Silicon Valley is site speed improvement. They have dedicated engineers or a group of engineers just working on coming up different ways of improving the site speed. And it doesn't matter if you can improve the site speed by 100 millisecond or 1 second. Every second improvement in site speed actually brings in tons and tons of revenue for these companies. So this is the reason why site speed is very important. It actually is a very, very good user experience, um, because it just loads the site super fast on any kind of device, be it cell phone, be it desktop, it doesn't matter. And on top of that, Google, so let me just show you Google site speed ranking factor, right? So there are bunch of articles out there that just talks about how site speed is one of the most important factors for Google's ranking. So if you want to rank higher, you have to make sure that your site speed is your site loads super fast compared to any of your competitors in the surrounding area. So that way you can actually get an upper hand if whenever the users are searching from a mobile device. So this is especially helpful on the mobile device when users are on the go and they want information immediately, yeah, on the tips of the fingers. So at the command of the tips of the fingers. So that's the most important, or well, one of the most important factors. So do not underestimate how much a site speed is of an importance. I'm pretty sure if you have your SEO company that you are working with, they must have also told you about this, that it's an important factor. And if they haven't, this is the you should actually keep that in mind and have them optimize the site speed, uh, so that your website actually starts loading up and ranking up. So now you may ask, like, how can I really do this? So by yourself, like, you don't have any clue how to audit a website speed. So I will show you in this video how you can leverage a couple of Google's tools and just do everything by yourself. So first of all, what you will need is the way I there may be many different methods, but the way I prefer is either I go to Google's own SiteSpeed website. So that's the most easiest way. So we'll just search for Google. If I could spell Google SiteSpeed Insights. So that's the, yeah, Google PageSpeed Insights is what it's called. So this is the URL. It just looks like a Google search. Basically all you do here is just enter some of the websites that you want to check. Let's just start with Google itself. So we'll just analyze Google for now, and you see it's analyzing, it's taking a while, and what it's going to tell you is it's going to spit out a score of 86 in this case. And you see there are two tabs. It says mobile, so this is the performance on mobile, and if you toggle over, it's 100 on desktop. Now if you see what that means, Google has provided the scale. So 90 to 100 is fast, which is fast on desktop for Google. 50 to 89 is average, and 0 to 49 is slow. So on desktop, Google ranks 100, and on mobile, it ranks 86. So it's just about an average. Now, underneath, it spits out a bunch of metrics that you can actually have a look at. So I can show you what each of this means, but you don't have to understand any of this if you don't. All the most important part about this is you analyze your website by yourself and then ask your SEO provider that, hey, why is what have you done on my site that is taking so long for it to load, for example, in this part or this part or this part, whatever, right? So for example, over here it says avoid multiple page redirects. So that's the opportunity that it's telling you, and this is the savings that you can get, like 1.26 seconds can be saved. So if you expand on that, you can see that Google actually tells you that the initial input was google.com, and then it bounced to www.google.com, and then there was a SSL, some kind of a certificate. So basically that took an additional 630 milliseconds, and then there was another uh, 0.6 second, which is again 600 milliseconds from this GIF. Basically, we know that today is the 30th web anniversary, or the 30th anniversary of the World Wide Web. So that's what is it's fetching, and it takes an additional 0.6 second to load. So, and it also gives you the size of that image. It's 84 kilobyte, or sorry, it's 165 kilobyte, and you can save 84 kilobyte if you compressed probably that image into these form. So that's what it means practically. So this is one of the ways. Now this is a very fast speed, that's why you only got a few insights. So I have one of my own sites, extends. This is my marketing landing page. It's basically developed on Weebly, and you see it's just 34 right now. Because it's developed on Weebly, I haven't even optimized it. It was just set up for about a couple weeks ago, and I haven't got a chance to optimize it at all. I just used the default um, images that came along with the theme and just went with it. So if you look at it, there is so much um, improvement opportunities. So you see almost 2.5 seconds for just resizing the images. So right now it's almost 1 megabyte of an image. I can reduce it in half, the main hero image, which is what they call it. Then there are so many CSS components. You don't have to understand any of this. Basically, these are the components that actually give you the look and feel of your website, and structure of your website. So all of this can be actually reduced significantly if I were to optimize it by myself. so it could add another 2 seconds. Now I don't care about this as much because for me, most people don't go to my website anyways, because I'm a B2B provider, so I don't have as many customers going onto my website, primarily because I either reach out onto email or LinkedIn or some other source of traffic. So my website is just for my basic presence. But if you have any services on your website, like you sell through your website, like an e-commerce, or you have menu of your restaurant hosted on your website or anything else, you have to be absolutely certain that at least that portion of your website is highly optimized, and it doesn't affect users experience. So for example, in case of menu, you would have that menu loaded on or linked on to Yelp and Google and Facebook and a lot of other places. So if users find your menu from any of those sites and they click on it, you want your menu to load ASAP. You should not wait, have the user wait for like 10 seconds. Otherwise, the user will just close it and just move on to another restaurant in the list. So that's why it's very important. The site speed is very important. Now let me show you another way. Well, let me give you an example of a website that actually loads at 100 on um, mobile as well. So it's Shopify. If you've not heard of it, it's an e-commerce platform. So let's just analyze this. When I hit it last time, it was loading at 100. Yep. So it's the scale is 100 on mobile as well as desktop, and you see everything is amazing, and it actually animates everything. It has 22 audit. Everything is passed. So this is amazing example. And we'll actually load the website and you can see how fast it loads. So here I think it took about a second to load all of it. And now let me give you another way of how you can analyze the same site. Right now, uh, basically you need to well, first of all, you need a tool, which is your browser. Very important. If you don't have Google Chrome, I highly recommend you go and you download Google Chrome and get rid of any other browser if you can. So what is Google Chrome is just this browser over here. If you go to download now, so with this you can add a lot of extensions that can do a work for you. And I have about 15 extensions right now in my browser, which you cannot see, but that help me give that gives me actually instant information. So information about any of the websites that I'm looking at. So anyway, so you go ahead and download this, and then for this exercise you don't have to download anything. All I am going to show you is how you can actually go and audit this, uh, audit the page speed of any of the websites. All right, so just give me a second. I'm going to actually expand to a view that you can actually see in the recording. So give me a second.